I just think about what God has done for me in my life. I could have been somewhere else. I could have been gone. I could have been wherever. But He saw fit to use me as an instrument of praise.
So, before I became a producer and a broadcaster, I was a drummer. A lot of people know that. 2004, I joined my group, Eddie Williams and Family Connection. It's a part of a community known as the Gospel Quartet community. My next guest is a singer who's also a part of the Gospel Quartet community here in my home city of Baltimore. That's Deyontay Riddick, the lead singer for Deyontay and Nu Direction. Told y'all that everybody wouldn't be journalists and media people on this podcast. This is the first timely episode, so that's the reason why it's coming out in the middle of the week, and it's in between the episode featuring Brianna Dalquist, which I hope you enjoy, and coming up after this will be Danielle Martin. But the reason why this is timely is because we are preparing for Deyontay and Nu Direction's album release, All White Affair, February 16th, 2020. So sit back. Deyontay and I, we discuss how he got started in gospel music, especially gospel quartet, what it's like to be under the age of 30 and being in church all your lives and kind of get made fun of for that. So before the interview, I'm actually going to treat you with something, and that's a clip from that album just released called Sing Praises. Here's one of my favorite songs and my daughter's favorite song. Here's a clip of their song, Over in Zion. And then, as we say in church, the next voice you will hear will be that of Deyontay Riddick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to bring you my next guest. As you know, everybody so far has been in the journalism business, but we're taking a dive. I told you guys every guest wouldn't be journalists. I promised you that in the beginning. Well, this is a young man who I had the pleasure of watching grow up in a circuit that I'm a part of, and that is the Gospel Quartet circuit, and that is the one, the only Deyontay Riddick of Deyontay and Nu Direction. Deyontay, how you feeling?
I'm doing fine. Hi, everybody.
So, man, a couple weeks ago, you guys just released your album, Deyontay Nu Directions Sing Praises. It's available on Apple Music, CD Baby, Spotify, Google Play. Tell me, how does it feel to finally get this project done?
Oh my God, it's been a tremendous experience. I'm so grateful to God for seeing it through. God has been so good, and we went through a couple things just to get it completed and everything, but nothing too hard for God.
Amen. Amen. Now, let's get started. Let's go back to the beginning before we get to this point. When did you start singing? Like, when did your career in singing begin?
Well, I started singing at the age of 5 at the New Carmel Star Baptist Church. I grew up in the church with my family. Um, Pretty much, I've been to New Carmel Star all my life. It's God has came in my heart, and I really appreciate everything that He has done in my life. I mean, I'm just so grateful to Him. Um, from the age of 5 to the age of 16, I became the minister of music at the very
Mhm.
same church, and to this day, I'm still presiding as the minister of music at that church.
All right. Well, this church being in Baltimore City, I gotta ask you, what was it like growing up in church, especially, you and I, we've been in church all our lives, but in the city, you're surrounded by people who don't always go to church. Did you have to deal with some of the I guess to say, was you teased for being a quote unquote church boy as you grew up?
Yes, I have to say, because you know what, a lot of people didn't understand, and
Hmm.
being in the church, you have to be able to not explain, but to be able to relate and understand from their point of view, and be able to stress how important it is, to let God in your heart,
Hmm.
and just for that, that alone, it just keeps you going. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now what about were you one of the kids? I gotta ask you this. Kind of play more gospel music as opposed to rap, or did you play a little bit of rap and R&B as well, or did you mix it up?
Well, yeah, I did play. I loved gospel music. I was that one kid that had gospel music playing on everything, and then what you call dip and dab a little bit through R&B and soul. I was never really like a rap condescender, but I like it to a certain extent. I'm just a musically person, so I kind of like all music actually.
Cool. So now when I first met you, you were actually a part of ministry, the group
Yes, sir.
ministry. And what was that experience like? And particularly, I also want to ask you, what was it like singing quartet with your dad?
Well, like you said, me growing up, my father actually was a part of a band called the CBS Trumpeters, and
Hmm.
me just growing up seeing him, or basically he was playing drums for this world renowned group called the CBS Trumpeters, and growing up pretty much hearing him, and um basically on his coattail everywhere he went. And it kind of like sunk into me, um, with that. So it's been a tremendous experience. So yeah.
So you said you was on his coattail. Did he want to keep you away from it a little bit longer, or was he like excited as soon as you showed interest? He wanted you to be a part of the quartet.
It was more so he was more excited into, well he already knew that I was in the church and singing because we went to church. So, but he kind of thought I was going to go more to a different part of it. He didn't think quartet would be the platform that I would want to be in. But he little did he know I actually loved quartet. So it kind of like gelled together. So
All right. So what was it about quartet that you loved?
just the passion of it, it's something about the passion that connects with the mental. It just definitely just like sunk in. More of
Hmm.
the tradition of it, more of the I would call it the texture of it. It kind of just, like you say, that give you that old time religion. I love it. So definitely.
Now, and what would you say? Who was your favorite groups growing up?
Let's see. Of course, the Canton Spirituals. Mighty Clouds of Joy. I would. Let's see. I have a lot of groups in my song archives that I love. Um,
I mean, you
but
can't go wrong
definitely,
with those two. I think if
yeah.
anybody when you bring up quartet music to people who may or may have an idea what it is, as
Hmm.
soon as you say the King of Spirituals and the Mighty Clouds of Joy, you done something. I know for me personally, shout out to Troy. He showed me how to play drums by you putting Canton Spirituals on a little cassette player and giving me the headphones. And that's how he taught me how to play in my grandmother's basement. I was 5 years old. So,
Oh
I
yeah.
know, yeah, so yeah, the Canton Spirituals are classics. Um, so you grew up listening to them. Um, what was it about, I would say, Harvey or Joe Lagan and their leading style that maybe you've been able to take away and implement it into your style, if any?
I would have to say it's just more of their insertedness into it. Like they really had a way. Everybody have their style in music, and I kind of feel like if I had to put them two together, or to see what I took from them, like I said again, it's more so of how their presentation, their tenacity, the different things that they have done. Their singing. I would say riffs. I would say riffs and runs, but they were kind of mellowed out with it. It gave a different feel that I really gravitated to. So
Okay.
yeah.
So we now, we move forward. Now you have the group Deyontay and Nu Direction. Talk about, I guess, the pressure of having, your name on a group. You hear about groups like Willie Neal and the Gospel Keynotes. You hear about Lee Williams and Spiritual QCs. Folks, for all out there who may not be used to gospel music, these are some of the legends. And it's a difference when you have like your name at the forefront. And then we have Deyontay and Nu Direction, a young man who isn't even 30 yet. What was that like? Were you nervous when you found out, like, hey, this is what we're gonna name the group? Like, talk about that.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's just say yes, sir. It was the nerves definitely kicked in. Pretty much I don't want to say shy, but I'm pretty much taking on the responsibility. Well, the longest Jesus is in my heart and He guides my path, like I said, I'm going to stay with the Lord. I'm not going to move to the left nor to the right. I'm going to stick with the Lord because He's going to guide my footsteps in every step of the way. So
I
I'm
hear
just going to
that.
put it on. I'm just going to put it on Him. Wherever He leads me, I will follow.
Amen, brother. Amen. Now, you guys, this summer you guys celebrated your 4th anniversary.
Yes, sir.
Um, and I believe last year is when y'all recorded the material for the album during your live recording.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure I had it right. Can you talk about just the preparation for recording something live as opposed to, um, just because I believe when you was in ministry, you guys had did the CD, right?
When we was in ministry, we did. Yeah. Well, we did a CD. Yes, we did a CD. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, I'm like, I'm almost certain you was a part of it. My dad had it, and I remember,
Mhm.
listening, "It's Going to Rain" on repeat, but now we move forward. I mean, and it's been like 10 years later. It's just crazy how long I've known you. Because I didn't realize you were that young then. And like I said, you're not even 30 yet, but we move forward and now you're doing a live recording. Can you talk about like the preparation? How do you get ready mentally before such a huge event?
Oh wow, wow, wow! It was definitely what you want to call a bullet point list of getting things in order. Um, in life you just face certain challenges and different things that you get. You have to get things organized and try to get it the way. Well, like you say, you gotta do everything in decency and in order.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much we just had to format everything to a good, a certain way that it should go, and then let God in it. Like I said, he's first. always. Um, but like you said, it definitely was not easy. But we like I said, we pushed through, and God showed up and showed out.
Yeah, definitely, man. So now I got to ask you this. Talk about what it's like to work with Troy. Of course, that's my uncle. I've, he's been a mentor to me as far as playing drums and even uh, triggering my passion for wrestling at such a young age. But
Yes.
just
Yes, indeed.
talk about what it's been talk about what it's been like working with him, because he's been on social media and really giving you guys props for trusting him. He said, as he wrote in his post, him being just a drummer, and y'all kind of like gave him the ball and trusted him to run with it. Talk about that process.
See, well, I look at Troy as, like I said, a leader. Troy is awesome. He is what I would call more than a drummer. He called himself a drummer, but I call him a director. I call him. He could be a pastor. He could, he could be whatever, because he has the goals, and he has like the what you call the how can I put this? He pretty much is a protector, a leader, and I mean, I just thank God for Troy.
Mhm.
I just thank God for Troy. He is he keeps some things organized musically, and sometimes we call him up. We get on his nerves. I know we do. we call him. We call him and we just tell him different things we want in order, and he just finds a way and he makes it happen. And I
Awesome.
thank God for placing him in our hearts, placing him on our minds, and just placing him in our life.
Indeed, man. So I gotta ask you this. What song was your favorite when you guys got to record, or when you listened to the album? What song made you really excited?
I have to say the title of the album, "Sing
Okay.
Praises." Now that song, it just touches my heart. It reminds me of Psalms 96. It say, "Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord. Praise His name. Proclaim His salvation day after day. Declare His glory among the nations." I just think about what God has done for me in my life. I could have been somewhere else. I could have been gone. I could have been wherever. But He saw fit to use me as an instrument of praise.
Mhm.
I just thank God for Him. I mean, I just thank God for being in my life. And, you know, just for using me as an instrument of praise. And I just pray that everything keep going the way it is. Amen.
Man, that's awesome. Now, coming up, you guys have your all white affair to celebrate the release of this album. Um, and you
Yes,
guys have
sir.
you got some heavy hitters on there. You have Seek and Find, Karen and the Fellas, the Men of God, Pastor J. Can you talk about how these groups and Pastor J? I know he's on the album. You didn't welcome in Uncle James. Can you just talk about how you know collaborating with these groups, and then on your anniversary, you've had um, Zion Hill, you had I'm looking
Yeah.
right at it, Kenny Davis and the Melody Dares, Pastor Ernie, and somebody else that I definitely forgot. But you working with the people. Can you talk
hmm
about how they've been an inspiration?
Oh my God. You just named one of the legends. I call him the legend. You said Kenny Davis. Oh my God, I remember just watching Kenny Davis back in the day. My father, there's been plenty of programs my father I call it dragged me to. And I done seen Kenny Davis, he just been an inspiration throughout Baltimore, and just an inspiration in the quartet business. Pastor Jay and Brother Ernest. Look, I watched Brother Ernest as a young boy. My uncle sung with him in the Trumans, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember, and I tell the story every time I talk about Brother Ernest. And I'm young, and I wanted to sing with them, and it was an age differential, but like I said, I traveled. I mean, I just been around with them, and they just have really been an inspiration in my life, and just listening to all of them. We connect with different groups and stuff like that because it's a relationship. In the business, we all serve one God, one name, who's worthy of all the praise.
Amen to that, brother. Now, what's your goal when you sit back and you think about Deyontay and Nu Direction? You think about, yourself as a lead singer in the gospel quartet industry. What's your biggest goal?
Wow, that is a question. My biggest goal is to reaching out to win souls for Christ. And if I can do that, I have met my goal, and that's it. So I'm winning souls for Christ.
Wow.
Right.
And,
Yep.
I'm gonna be real with you. You don't hear a lot of people in the gospel music industry say that. That should be the ultimate goal. But it's so much that, and this is why I was excited about having you on here, because I've watched your journey. I've watched you, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. This is my show. I can say what I want. I don't see you hanging outside, looking at the women, smoking a cigarette, saying, you know, things that shouldn't be said. Like, sometimes quartet music, you can see it can feel like a club. People outside. It was one time one time we was at church in East Baltimore, and I literally walked away because I saw a bunch of old men. They was all standing around talking from some of these local groups, and
Uh-huh.
they just started snickering at this woman. It's one thing, everybody gonna look, whatever, right? But
Right?
the way they was talking, I'm like, wait, am I at church or am I at the club? It made me walk inside. And that's one of the things, like, on the number of programs we've been on together, I've never seen
Mm-hmm.
you do. And that's the reason why I do believe that your group will go far, that you will be you guys are
Thank you.
anointed. I sit back and like I said, I watch you support, support.
That's that's right.
uh, and that's the thing that a lot of people, especially in Baltimore, but a lot of groups in
Mm-hmm.
general, they don't do. So, I'm really excited to see where y'all go. What's next? I know whenever we do the photo shoots, it's a fun time for me because y'all sit back and y'all, you can see that y'all have a genuine love for each other.
Thank
Yes,
you, brother.
it's a business, but you can see y'all have a genuine love for each other. And I remember in 2017, right
Mm-hmm.
before the first photo shoot I did with you guys, your dad said it. He said, "Look, Quartet is coming up. Be on the lookout. It's gonna be, it's getting ready to hit that next spark." You know.
Right.
So, did you? I want to know what kept you, I guess, to say, from going contemporary? What led you, like, what kept you in quartet as opposed to saying, all right, I did this for a little while I was younger, as background and second lead for ministry? What made you stay with it as opposed to jumping into contemporary music?
Uh, well, Quartet is the soul. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to really explain it. It's a feeling. It's more so a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a real feeling. It's something about real. You know, that draw people to it. I mean, the Quartet, like I said, is the soul, and it's the what you call it, the legacy, the old time religion, just the beat, the beats, the drives, it's just something about the feeling of Quartet that brings out the soul of God to me. So yeah, I definitely would go that route just for that. I'm not sure, contemporary. Um, it's the same. I don't want to say the same feel, but just my opinion, of course. To me, a quartet is more of the soul with the beat, the drive, the thump of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what it is for me.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, let the people know where they can find you.
Where they can find me?
Yeah.
Well,
So
on you can find me. Hello.
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, the audio thing. Okay, well, you can find me at you can always come to the 1847 West Baltimore Street at New Star Baptist Church, where you'll find me at every Sunday. The Deyontay and Deyontay and Nu Direction. We are on social media. We have a Facebook page. Just look up Deyontay and Nu Direction Quartet. You can also find us any CD, Deyontay Nu Direction on CD Baby, Spotify, all the different outlets for music. We're on there. Um, so there we go. You can find us anywhere.
Cool,
Find us
man.
anywhere.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on the podcast to check it out. Share your story, share your journey. If you're in Baltimore City, the date is February 16th, the third Sunday of the month. It's 2 days after Valentine's Day. So, buy your tickets now. That way you won't say I spent it all during Valentine's Day.
Get your tickets
But make
now
sure
so you
you
going
are
fast.
at right. Make sure you at the All White Affair. Tickets only $25. And look, you getting Deyontay and Nu Direction. You're getting Seek and Find, Karen and the Fellas, the Men of God, Pastor J. If Kurt Franklin was in town, you'd be spending 50, $60. If Beyonce was in town, you was gonna be spending a minimum of $80. Why not spend $25? You heard Deyontay, you'll come out and get blessed because he's gonna give you a word through the song. You know he's genuine. So make sure you come out. The address is 3901 Main Avenue at the Liberty Recreational Center. And the one and only MC Stephanie Williams McDonald of
Oh
VSC
yeah.
Radio will be in the building. B Waters Productions will be in the building. This event is brought to you by Levitical Sound and JS Management. And doors open at 3 and the program starts at 4. So it's a CD release banquet. So make sure
Yes,
you are in
sir.
the house. Deontay, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I'm proud of you.
Thanks for
I've
having
been
me, brother.
blasting the CD. I've been blasting the CD ever since. My daughter loves Over in Zion. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So
Yes.
yeah, she loves that song. We actually, since it came out in July, we've been blasting it. And then when the album came out between that, Been to the Water, you know,
Hmm.
um, You Said It, Sing Praises. And I mean, it's so many hits on there. I'm gonna make sure I include the link so that people can make sure they got it right there. They have no excuses. Well, I couldn't find it. No, it's right there. So, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure I include the link. Oh, and definitely straighten out all God's people. Man, when y'all rock
Which
that at
is
the anniversary.
thank you. Which is a old CBS trumpeter.
Oh man. Oh.
Yes,
Well, all
there
right.
we go.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for joining this episode of Breaking Through the Glass Ceiling with Brian H. Hope you enjoyed Deyontay Riddick's, his journey, how he got started. Perhaps you're out there and you're interested in singing gospel music, quartet, where the heart is, and the soul, as Deyontay said. So, hopefully this inspired you. Hopefully this inspires you, to keep going, to push through. That even if you are getting made fun of for something that you do, just do it anyway. I'm going to send you guys home on another one of my favorite songs from this album, and that's called Been to the Waters. One of my all-time favorite gospel, my all-time favorite songs. So I was very happy to hear them do this. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this episode. And remember, forever 824 Mamba Mentality. This podcast is brought to you by B. Waters Productions. It is produced and edited by myself, Brian H. Waters, with the music brought to you by Hypnosis. You can find Hypnosis on Instagram at hypno_beats.
Glory, hallelujah.